It is now my pleasure to introduce Roger Simonsz, who is to be admitted as a Fellow of Bruford College. Roger attended Bruford College between 1984 and 1986 on the Technical Theatre Arts course after having done a Dip HE in video, acting and electronic music at Middlesex Polytechnic. Although his original intention was to be a director, he found an affinity with the technical side, which he pursued in parallel to his directing career, concentrating particularly on lighting and sound and then camera. After having worked his way up the electrical ladder in various regional repertory theatres, as well as the West End, he became a camera trainee and progressed to being a director of photography. In this function, he shot Spiral for Canal Plus, as well as working on other series like Sex and the City, Castle and Gossip Girl, as well as the feature films Hero, 9 Miles Down and 419, while also photographing second units on Rush Hour 3 and The Devil Wears Prada, amongst others. Having always continued to direct where possible, Roger eventually directed Wolf Blood and Death in Paradise for the BBC, as well as Antigone 34 and Elysium Futurus for French television, and Goettingen Schlechtingen, for RTL4 in the Netherlands. He is currently preparing a new comedy series to be shot in French in the Ivory Coast. Roger was very fortunate to have been awarded Best Fringe Play for his stage directing debut at the Liverpool Playhouse Studio for Laughing Wild. Roger has since been nominated for a BSc Best Cinematography in a TV Drama Award, as well as a Night of Illumination Award for Spiral, and eventually won a Night of Illumination Award for his work on Antigone 34. He was very proud to have been invited to join the Society of British Cinematographers and is still a member of the Association of Lighting Designers, member number 134. I'm member number 144, so I'm a little bit cross about that. He also serves on the committee of Showlight, having been asked to join after his keynote paper in Munich in 2005. He's since given 2 further papers at Showlight and has taught the Imago Masterclass in Bucharest in 2017. Roger lives in the Fontainebleau region, south of Paris, with his UK-based company, Imagique Limited, which also produces corporate and commercial films. Chair of Governors, I'm pleased to present Roger Simonsz, who is to be admitted as a Fellow of Bruford College.
By virtue of the powers invested in me, I am delighted to admit Roger Simonsz as a Fellow of Bruford College.
Well, I can't not say something now, can I, Nick? I mean, this is a wonderful pleasure. Thank you so much to all the wonderful people who had the idea to put me here today in this costume. Those who know me know I'm not very good in front of the camera. That's why I stayed firmly behind it most of my career. And, as I said, of the 3 fellows, I was the only one who actually was here. And where I'm standing right now, there used to be the studio theatre, and where you're sitting used to be a toilet. So how things have changed, and it's wonderful to see. There was a time when Nick and I were beating various everymans into electrical submission around the country. And now we all are in our lovely gowns, standing here, reminiscing. And I was thinking, we didn't do this. I mean, it's lovely now that, Bruford has had the power to do its own awards. I got a diploma in technical theatre arts after 2 years, and I just walked out, and I, didn't have any of this. So it's lovely to see you all. And if I'm thinking of anything that I can give to you, it's so long ago. I mean, when I left, there were still theatres doing weekly rep, which is when we used to say to the actors, learn your lines and don't walk into the furniture. And that still exists. It's just called EastEnders now. As Bernie will tell you. And, along the way, you kind of pick up things. This is very nice. This is a lovely gown, and I have a Night of Illumination award. And you suddenly realize there's not so much middle age you have to worry about, but the Middle Ages. And here we are. But it's kind of appropriate because although we've made lots of progress in the industry, I mean, we used to do all-nighters every week, turning over, working on a Saturday night from 11 till 9 the next morning, and it was all union allowed. And now, the rules have changed, and it's become a little more livable, I think. You can actually have children, be a parent in the theatre. I had to get out of theatre to be a parent. And so that is a lot better, but it's still in a lot of ways a medieval industry with medieval roots and medieval practices. And you do have to be careful with it. It's not a structured corporate world. You will be on your own when you leave here, and you will become a journeyman as you do. The learning starts now. You may have spent 3 years doing wonderful stuff here, and for a lot of you, you won't be as busy as you were here. But that's not necessarily a bad thing. And the other thing I think I've learned, and this is something you shouldn't beat yourself up about, luck does play a part. The fact that I did what I did, I can only say with hindsight, but was also luck. I happened to bump into somebody who said something to somebody else. And in that part, also Rose Bruford played quite a major role, because the people I met here helped me on my early career, and sometimes are actually still active. So the connections you make here will carry you through life. But don't beat yourself up if you're not the one that gets to light the next show at the National, and somebody else will. Because, unfortunately, it's not always talent. It's nice to have it, it's nice to have skills, but it's also being in the right place in the right time. And for some of you, that's possible, and some of you, you just happen to be in the toilet when the decision was made. And that's what happens sometimes to me, which is why I have the time to stand here and tell you all about it. So, thank you very much, and it's a pleasure to be here again, and I wish you all the very best in your future careers, and you may employ me.